Hi weaving friends. Today we're going to talk about something a little bit different, about how much money I earn on YouTube, and I'm going to tell you the story behind why I'm telling you this today. So I'm sitting here spinning some beautiful polearth wool, and when you're spinning you kind of get in a bit of a zone because your hands are busy but your mind isn't. And so it's very easy to just sit and think, and it's very relaxing, very calming and very good for you. But a lot of thoughts come. So I'm sitting here spinning and I'm thinking all of these thoughts, and then I'm thinking, I think I want to share those thoughts with all of you. So a couple of things, you might just have to put up with some of the clacking noise from my spinning wheel, because I've got an old New Zealand Sleeping Beauty wheel. It's a beautiful vintage wheel that I bought many years ago, and I love it. It's a double drive wheel with Scotch tension, and it's been fantastic for helping me to learn how to spin. But when it came to me, it had a couple of issues that needed to be fixed, and I was able to get a gentleman to help me out with that. And he did some things like replacing some leather and adjusting some things that needed to be adjusted, and it improved quite a bit after that. But what I was left with was a kind of clacking sound when the wheel turns. And it's when I press down on the treadle, it just kind of goes. Sometimes it's louder than others. But I've sort of gotten used to that, but hopefully it's not too loud in this video and I won't be annoying to you while I'm chatting away. So anyway, what I've been thinking about while I've been sitting here spinning is a comment that I got a couple of days ago on one of my YouTube videos. And this video is not about that comment, but that comment has inspired this video. So I've already responded to that comment on the comment, and I'm happy with how I responded, but then it's made me kind of think about a few things, quite a few things. So the reason that I wanted to share my YouTube revenue with you all today, because this is something I've never done before. I never really felt like it was relevant, or I never really had a reason to do it before, but now I feel like maybe it is becoming more relevant from an educational perspective, because there are all so many different people on YouTube, so many different topics and niches that we're all talking about and making videos about, and we all earn different amounts of money from YouTube for what we do. So earning money from YouTube, I think everybody knows this, but just in case you don't know, YouTubers earn money from their videos, from the ads that come up usually before, during and after our videos, which is not always controlled by us, by the way. YouTube does their own ad placement as well. And so when those ads get shown to you as the viewer, we as the creators get a very small percentage of that revenue. So however many people watch the video, we get paid per 1,000 views. Now, my average amount that I get paid per 1,000 views is usually around $5. So if I put out a video and it gets 2,000 views, then I'll get about 10 bucks for that. I'm going to go more in depth into my actual earnings, but let's talk a little bit more about that comment that inspired this video. So you know that, like I've mentioned before, the majority of comments on my channel are from wonderful, supportive people who really appreciate what I do. And then occasionally I get one that's not so nice and not very appreciative. So this comment was kind of one of those. It wasn't really nasty or anything, but this person felt that, well, she told me she was disappointed that one of my recent videos was not available for free. So if you've been around here lately, I have started to I have started a channel membership, which is called Kindred Weavers, and it's basically a place where those of you who subscribe to my YouTube channel, you can also opt to pay to subscribe to this other part of the channel, which is kind of like a private part of the channel where I get to decide what goes in there. You get members only videos, you get early access to new videos, you get priority attention to your comments and things like that. You get quite a few perks. And yes, there are going to be, and there are already, videos in there that are for members only. That's kind of the point of having a members only section on YouTube, is that the people who want to be in there pay for the privilege. And it's a way for people who want to support me and also get a little bit more from me because they like what I do, then that's the perfect choice for them. And it's not for everybody, and I'm not saying that anyone has to sign up for that. Of course, I appreciate every single member who's over there and who will be over there, but it's not something that I'm pushing heaps. It's not something that I'm hopefully making people feel like they have to do. Anyhow, so I got this comment, and yes, this woman felt that she had been looking forward to a certain video that I was going to do. This was a very in-depth video as well, so it's on my members channel. It's how to direct warp a table loom. It's a long video, it's a lot of information, and she felt that it should be available for free. Well, I find that very interesting from a number of angles. I guess the first angle is when you go into a shop, when you access a service, I don't know, you go and see a lawyer, you go and see your accountant, you walk into a shop to purchase food or clothing, you pay for those things. And everybody knows that those things do not come free. That's because if they were all free all the time, the people involved, the accountants, the shop owners, whoever it is, would not get paid, and they would not be able to support themselves or their families. Also, the economy would completely collapse because we rely on a certain level of consumerism through purchasing goods and services. It's kind of what makes the financial world go round. So I always find it interesting when someone says to me, because this is not the first time that someone has said this to me, that I should be offering all of my content for free, and that they actually feel disappointed with me for not doing that. I did kindly and hopefully patiently point out to this person that there are over 400 videos on this YouTube channel, and they're all completely free. And I also have a website with over 1,000 articles and tutorials and recipes and all kinds of things on my website. And that is completely for free. On a daily basis, I sometimes for hours in a day will spend time liaising with people, giving them my personal attention via email or via comments or however it is, to help them with problems they're having with weaving, to give them advice, and that is all completely unpaid time. So the only thing that allows me to be that generous with my time and with my effort and with my talents and sharing everything that I do, the only thing that allows me to do that is the fact that some people pay me for classes, for patterns, for designs. Some people joined my new channel membership. Some people leave me tips to my tip jar, all these little things. Some people use my affiliate links and all these things that allow me to earn an income to support my family. So as I pointed out to this commenter, if I did everything that I do completely for free, then my family would be destitute because we'd have no income. I think it's just, you know, it should go without saying, really, especially in these times when the cost of living is so high. The cost of living in Australia is, like so many people are struggling. It's just so high. It's crazy. Real estate prices are so high. Food, buying food, it's just so expensive. All the services we have to pay for on a daily basis just for basic living, so expensive, okay? And I know it's the same in so many other places. And so I do my best to continue to offer free content as much as I possibly can. I still put out free content almost every single week of my life. And that somehow is not enough for some people. So there's a fundamental issue here. The fundamental issue, I think, is the sense of entitlement that a lot of people seem to have these days. And also, I think a lot of people who get things for free a lot, unfortunately, it devalues what they're getting and they don't appreciate it as much. Now, maybe I've dug that own hole for myself by offering so much free content that people then come to expect it from me and seem to feel insulted when I actually charge for my content. Maybe that's the case. But I do think it's an increasing issue that, I don't know, people are just not seeing the situation for what it really is, that people have to be paid. If I'm not paid doing this, then I'm out working full time for somebody else and I'm not making content at all because I can't. I wouldn't have the time. I wouldn't have the energy. I'd be exhausted. And I'd be spending all of my time just trying to make enough money to support my family. So that's, you can probably tell I'm a bit peeved by all this. I really am, because I think there's just enough trouble in the world without people going around acting like the entire world is just there set up for them. And if things don't go exactly their way, then they get stroppy about it. You have a little tanty like a little kid in the supermarket aisle lying face down and beating the floor with their hands and feet. And we're seeing this a lot in these times. And really, I think the internet is one of the main causes for this kind of behaviour. Not purely, but I have been thinking about the internet a lot lately, and I've been discussing it with various people. And I'm noticing that so many people are feeling the same way. Maybe I'll have a separate video on that eventually, I don't know. It's not really related to weaving, is it? YouTube doesn't like it when I make videos like this that aren't related to weaving. And YouTube tends to hide those kind of videos from my audience because they think it's, or the algorithm thinks that it's not what my audience wants to see. Anyway, I guess I'm getting off on a lot of tangents now. See, I told you, while you're sitting here spinning, you're just thinking more and more thoughts. And it's a complicated world we live in. There's a lot of thoughts to think. But I was going to share with you my YouTube revenue because it's very relevant to what I'm talking about today. And it might help to explain why I need to charge for content away from YouTube. So let me grab my list that I put together. I'm not going to show you my YouTube screen because there might be some rule against that and then I might get in trouble. So I just wrote it all down. I've written down the past 6 months for every month, my revenue from YouTube. Now you might have seen other revenue videos on YouTube from various people. It really depends on the niche that you are in as to how much you get paid. So there are people who just put videos on YouTube and they make their entire living like that. Once I read out these figures, you understand that is not a possibility for me. But if you're in a niche like, say, finance, where there's a lot of money floating around, advertisers will pay a lot of money to get your audience's eyes on their content, they get paid a lot more. So, but for me, as a craft, hobby, tutorials niche YouTuber, my returns have always been very low, and they don't go up. Doesn't matter how many videos I have. It doesn't really matter how many views I have. It just doesn't really seem to change very much. So what I've written down is the amounts that were paid from YouTube into my bank account. And so these amounts, YouTube have already taken their cut out of it, because they take a cut as well. And it's a fairly large cut that they take. And then they pay you. So you get paid through Google AdSense, it goes straight into my bank account. But once it's in my bank account, I then pay tax on it. Okay, so this is all in Australian dollars, and this is all without the tax taken out. So July 2025, this is all this year, I'm going back through the past 6 months. July was $420.69. June was $536.21. May, $519.25. April, I hit the jackpot in this month, $768.48. March was $584.09. And February was $649.15. Now I did an average of all of those, so I added them all up and divided them by the 6 months, and that gave me an average of around $579.64 per month from YouTube. In US dollars, that is $378.05. Okay, so looking at those figures, do you understand why I need to make money away from YouTube? $580, let's say it's around $580 per month, doesn't get very far in a world where everything is so expensive, and if you have a family as well. So besides yourself, there are other people who need to be taken care of financially. $580 it's a good amount of money, but over an entire month, it's not very much. It's not going to buy you very much. So now with my channel membership, the new channel membership, Kindred Weavers, maybe you understand why I introduced that. It's only $5 a month per member, and there are not a huge number of members there, but it's just a little bit extra. It means that I can still come to YouTube, still make my videos, and just get that little bit extra to help me. Now, the reason that I can keep coming to YouTube and have been able to for these 10 years, because I've just gone 10 years on YouTube, the reason I can do that is because of the weaving school. It's because I set up a place away from YouTube that has generated income for my family, and that is our main income source. And without it, I would not be able to do any of this stuff. I would be out there working a full-time job. Now, I'm not saying that our family's in financial trouble or anything like that. Thankfully, thank God, we are doing just fine. This video is more to illustrate the point that people who are out here on YouTube doing things for free, sometimes they're getting very, very little in return for that. And probably the correct way to behave towards those people is to thank them for the time that they have put in and the effort that they've put into bringing you content that you have somehow found valuable. And if you haven't found it valuable, then go and look for somebody else who you feel will give you some value. So I've come to the end of my bit of fleece. So I'm going to grab some more. This is so lovely, so squishy. I'm on my first bobbin. So after this, I'm going to do another bobbin. I've got another lot of this fleece, but it's in a different color. These are natural colors, by the way, straight from the sheep. I love that. I'm not usually a fan of brown, but I love brown in nature. And these sheep are so cute. You know what? I'll put the website link underneath where I got this fleece from, and you can see pictures of their sheep on the website. They're really super cute, and it's just so lovely. I'm not sure what I'll do with this yarn yet when I'm finished, but for now I'm just enjoying having a bit of time, or making a bit of time to spin again. So anyway, friends, I know I've talked about a few different things today. As I often say, it's a bit of a messy video, but you know, I really don't like scripting. I like to just, I guess, come across as natural and authentic as I can. And scripting makes things feel a bit stiffer and more formal. Maybe scripting is a good idea sometimes, because then you don't miss things that you wanted to say in the video. Like, I'll probably finish this, and then while I'm editing it, I'll be like, oh, I was going to talk about such and such. But that's okay. I mean, the video would probably just get longer and longer anyway. So I would love to hear from any of you who have thoughts on any of the stuff that I've talked about in today's video, including, you know, how you think the internet, social media, the perceived connectivity but actual lack of connectivity that we have as people today, and how that is affecting our behaviours and what's perceived as normal for our behaviours, and all that kind of stuff, as well as what you think about the free content situation. Is it a good idea? Is it helpful to you? What has it meant to you to be able to access free content? Do you think it's important to pay for content sometimes, at least? What are your thoughts? I'm interested. I like to have discussions, and I like to think that we can get back to a place of being able to discuss things without people being terribly upset and offended. And yeah, I think that would probably be a good start to getting things on a more even keel, is to just be able to discuss things like they used to. I remember reading a C.S. Lewis book years and years ago, and it's kind of an autobiography. He was talking about his university days when at night time a bunch of students would get together at the college, and you know, they'd meet in a room and they'd have their drinks and their smokes or whatever they did back then, but they'd have discussions, and everyone would have, or a lot of people would have, different opinions on things, as we all do, but they had respectful discussions. And to have that kind of discussion, you have to be open to listening to other people, and they have to be open to listening to you, and you have to be open to the fact that you might not be entirely right in what you think, or at least that you're willing to see other points of view. I know it's hard to do, but it's like a level, I guess it's like a level of maturity that is lacking these days, to just be able to sit and have a discussion. Because I think a lot of people, when you start to discuss especially sensitive topics, or topics that are considered sensitive, that people think that you are trying to confront them in some way, or make trouble for them, or make them uncomfortable. And that's, I don't know, to me that seems like a bit of a lack of maturity, because adults in the past have always been able to sit down and have these respectful discussions, and that's something that's really altered. Now I'm just rambling, so I'm going to go. I'm going to continue to spin. And if you ever see me sitting and spinning in a video again, you'll know it's going to be a rambly one, because you know I'm thinking all the thoughts. And I'm wanting to share all the thoughts. Also, if you really enjoy spinning, I know a lot of you do, I'd love to hear from you as well. What's on your spinning wheel? Or what are your goals with spinning? Maybe you are like some other commenters I've had recently where you want to get started spinning, but you haven't yet. You don't have a wheel, or you have a wheel and you're a bit scared of it, or whatever. All different reasons why it's hard to start something new. But yeah, I'd love to hear from you down below as well. And until next time, happy weaving, spinning, painting, crocheting, thinking, and all those good things. See you soon.